Hello! I'm super excited to start, and hopefully you are too. But in order for us to uncover this world of data science and machine learning, we need to understand what we are learning and where we're going to end up, so we have a clear path to success. Now, this course has over 200 HT videos that are broken down into sections. So let's go over the sections so you know what the plan is. First, we start off with a really fun section, Machine Learning 101. What is machine learning? We're gonna play around with some fun tools and understand what this whole craze around machine learning is, so that you're able to explain this to your friends, family, and dog. Okay, maybe not the dog. Once we get comfortable with the idea of machine learning, we understand the history and how we got here and how it works on a high level, we then have two paths for you to follow. One is if you don't know Python or have never programmed in your life, well, we're gonna teach you some Python so that you're able to follow the rest of the course. The other path is for those who are already familiar with programming and Python and wanna just dive straight in. So you can pick Python or we keep going with the course. The next part is about work environment. We want to have a professional setup that you're going to use in real life scenarios. So we're going to introduce you to topics like Jupyter Notebooks, Conda, and virtual environments, so that by the end of the section, you have a professional setup. And when you go into work on your first day on the job, you understand exactly what you need to install on your computer. We then move on to data analysis. How do we analyze this data that we have using libraries like pandas? Then we learn about a very important library when it comes to data science, and that is NumPy, a fundamental tool for all data scientists. Then we move on to data visualizations. This is going to be really fun because we get to work with libraries like matplotlib that allows us to make really neat graphs and visuals to describe our data. We then go into the very popular scikit-learn. If you want to get into machine learning, you need to know this library. And scikit-learn allows us to use models and train models and check how accurate our machine learning models are. In that section, we're going to learn a complete workflow for a machine learning project. Then things get interesting. This is when we start working on real-life project and actually dive deep into machine learning. We're going to learn about supervised learning, about neural networks, transfer learning, deep learning. We're going to do projects on classification, regression. We're going to build models around time series data. Now, we're not going to shy away from difficult topics here. We're going to introduce you, especially later on in the course, to advanced topics like deep learning, neural networks, and transfer learning. And we use the latest version of TensorFlow and Keras to do fun projects like image classifications, transfer learning. We're even going to show you how to use GPUs on your models to accelerate the training. This is gonna be a really fun part where we actually work on real life projects, and we're gonna have notebooks and workbooks by the end of it to show off on your portfolio. We then get into data engineering. Data engineering is actually a whole field in itself, but as a data scientist, you need to understand what they do and what the big high-level concepts are on topics like Hadoop and Spark, so that you know how they're used in the industry and you can communicate with data engineers. This is a part that's often missing in a lot of courses. But one of my favorite parts is this last part, the storytelling and communication. Something that we're very excited about because it's a topic so important but often forgotten. That is, in order for you to be a successful machine learning and data science engineer, you need to be able to communicate your work, present your work to management, to boss, to your coworkers. So using our experience working in the industry, we're gonna show you how to work on your storytelling, communication, to present your project and to really stand out from all your colleagues. Data science is a popular field, and in order for you to succeed, we want to go beyond just the basics. And communication is a big part of that. As you can see, we have a lot to cover here, a lot of videos and a lot of exercises, but I promise you, it's going to be a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, we're going to follow a storyline where you get hired at a company and all these tasks are going to be thrown at you by a boss. And we've mimicked these tasks based on our experience working for companies, so that when you land your first job, well, you won't have any surprises, or at least you're used to the work environment. By the end of it all, this is all going to fit in together and make sense from the very beginning of machine learning and data science basics to the very end with building our own projects. We're going to take you from zero to mastery. But you know what? The best part of this course is our online community. We have thousands of developers chatting every day, helping each other out, solving problems together, and just talking about the latest and greatest in programming, data, and the tech world. Now, this is an optional resource for you to use, so you can have back and forth conversation with other students and myself and Daniel. The idea is for you to feel like you're part of a classroom and you're not doing this all by yourself. But you know what? Enough talk. I know you're getting excited, I am too, so let's get started. In the next video, it's your first day at work and we're gonna start this course. Let's start learning and see why being a data scientist has become one of the most in-demand skills in the world. Let's get started. Congratulations, you just got hired at Keiko Corp. They're the latest Silicon Valley startup to hit the scene. They help analyze data of large companies and consult on what companies should do with their data. They do autonomous vehicles, security cameras. They have an online dating app, a website. They even have drones. And they also offer their services, like Amazon, to other big companies or startups. And you just got hired. Awesome. Wait, what is your role? Well, you're the new machine learning and data science expert. Well, this is a little awkward because you don't really know anything about that, do you? Maybe a little bit. Maybe you've heard it in the news, but this is going to be awkward because it's too late. You're already hired and people want you working right away. So you enter the office and, oh, there's your boss right there. This guy over here with the perfect hair, that's Bruno. He just got promoted and he's really excited to make an impact with Keiko Corp in their data division. And he just hired you to lead some of their initiatives. Now, he seems nice on the surface, but I have a feeling that he's going to be a tough cookie to work with. But you know what? We'll get through this. Now, if your memory is fuzzy of how you ended up here at Keiko Corp, let's not worry about that. It's your first day on the job. All you know is that you're the new machine learning and data science expert. Now, because this is your first day, as you do, you go out for lunch with your coworkers. And luckily, they don't ask you too many questions. And they seem to like you. They seem to be nice. But then, during lunch comes the question. Hey, we've heard about this machine learning thing, and Bruno said that you're the expert on the topic, and we're excited to have you on the team, but what is machine learning? And you think to yourself, oh boy, what should I say here? Well, you know what, guys, I have to go back to work, don't have much time, I'll explain it to you tomorrow. So you run away, still confused how you got here, but luckily the day ends with you not revealing that you know absolutely nothing and you have no idea how you just got hired. You survived the first day, but we have a problem, right? Tomorrow you have to go into work and you're going to have to explain this to your colleagues. Hopefully you can survive throughout the next couple of weeks and let people know that you're not an imposter. But, what should we do here? Well, luckily for you, you remember your old childhood friends. Their name? Andre and Daniel. Look how cute they were as a baby. You call them up and you say, hey, somehow I landed this job in Silicon Valley. It's really well paying, but I have no idea what I'm talking about. And luckily for you, they know. So they're going to help you throughout this journey to make sure that Bruno doesn't fire you and you impress all your colleagues. What we're going to do is each day at work, you're going to get some tasks and then you're going to go back home and Andre and Daniel are going to help you so that, well, you don't get fired. So here we are, all of us at home trying to decide how we're going to tackle this first problem. That is, what is machine learning? We have to go into work tomorrow and explain it to our colleagues. Let's get to it. What is machine learning? Here are the big words that are taking the industry by storm. Machine learning. Now, Throughout the course, we're going to explore this topic as well as data science and how it all fits into the tech space. But first things first, you need to be able to explain this topic to your coworkers and not look like you don't know what you're talking about. So let's start with this. You see, machines, or computers in this case, are really, really good at certain things, right? Machines can perform tasks really, really fast. And we can control these machines and get them to do tasks for us, which is what programming is. We program computers. We give them instructions to do tasks, and they do it for us. You see, computers came into this world because it allowed humans to do certain tasks really fast that may have required hundreds of workers before. I mean, computers used to actually mean people who do tasks that compute. They computed things. So for example, let's say I wanted to find out how to get to Daniel's house using Google Maps. Well, one option is I could pull out a map and with a ruler measure each of the routes that I could take to Daniel's house. And then do some math, do some addition, and find the shortest path. Or I could ask a computer to do this. Imagine we had 10 different routes. Instead of me measuring each route one by one, I could simply program and ask a computer, hey, can you tell me how to get to Daniel's house? And through programming, we tell the computer, can you calculate really quickly these 10 routes and find the shortest one? That's what programming is. Instead of me taking 10 minutes to figure out how to get to Daniel's house and the fastest route, I just click a button and the computer tells me what to do. Obviously, we have to program it and give it instructions, but once we give it a set of instructions, it, just like that, finds the solution for us. It computes solutions. And you know why computers became so popular? Because computers saved companies lots of money. Instead of hiring lots of workers, well, let's just buy a computer that does the task of 100 workers, and there you go. We saved a lot of money, and computers don't complain. They'll work 24/7 for you. Now, these machines or computers are really good at things that we can describe, right? That we can write in code, if-else blocks to do something. By the way, if you're new to programming, don't worry. We're actually going to start you off from scratch as well with Python. So don't worry, this part is just theoretical. So for example, let's say we talk about routes. I can say to the computer, hey, if route 1 is shorter than route 2, and if route 1 is shorter than route 3, and if route 1 is shorter than route 4, and also route 5, well, then pick route 1 as the best option. I can describe that through programming to computers. And computers are really good at working on tasks that have these defined rules, all the way up to a game of chess. When you play a game of chess against a computer, we could technically have these if, else, if, then blocks, lots of them, to see how to move each piece and what the pros and cons are. And because computers are fast, we can just do a ton of these calculations. But then there's a problem. What if instead of just trying to get to Daniel's house, we have to ask, is this person angry? Let's say somebody left a review on Amazon, or we're building a product that detects human emotion. How can I describe to a computer what angry means? Can you do that in an if-else block? What about this? What is a cat? How do we tell a computer what a cat is? Let's say I ask you to program a computer to detect if this picture is a cat or not. Can you program that? I mean, sure, you can technically say, yes, this cat has fur. This cat has whiskers. This cat meows. But then the computer comes back to you and asks, what is a meow? Or what are whiskers? What is hair? You see, the harder things become to describe, the harder it is for us to tell machines what to do. So we hire humans to do these things that are harder for us. So we let machines take care of the easier part, which is, things that we can describe. And the harder things that are hard to just give instructions to, well, we just let humans do it. Like being a salesperson or being an artist. Computers aren't good, so we hire humans. But then there's this new idea of machine learning. And you've definitely heard of it because it is a big buzzword right now in our industry. Because machine learning has a lot of applications. We could have self-driving cars, robots, vision processing, language processing, recommendation engines, translation services, stock price predictions. There's so many applications. And this is all because of machine learning. You see, things that computers couldn't do before and only humans can now be done by computers with machine learning. Well, kind of. Sometimes it gets it right, sometimes it doesn't. And we'll get to that. But the idea is this. The goal of machine learning is to make machines act more and more like humans. Because the smarter they get, the more they help us humans accomplish our goals. Now, in this section, we're going to go over some theory to get us familiar with this topic, to understand this topic a little bit more. But don't get worried. Don't get intimidated. We're going to try and simplify things and have fun along the way. And in later sections, we're actually going to code, build our own machine learning models, and do that exciting stuff. But we have to learn the foundations first. So let's take a break, and I'll see you in the next video.